Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
What's up, my fellow breadheads, and welcome to the One and Done Sunday Recap Show powered by drroto.com. I am your host, Chris Napier, aka Nape C Hustle. You can find me on X at The Real Napier. Guys, we are in March. It's officially March.
It's March?
Yeah, March. Yeah, man, it's conference tournament time, man. You know, this is the time we've been waiting for all year. You know, so a lot of the conference tournament's coming up. You know, we have a lot of info, everything that you need for the NCAA tournament coming up after these conference tournaments. Exciting time. We have a double feature tonight here on the channel with our first conference preview, tournament preview. And but yeah, before we get into that, let me bring in somebody who's just been on a tear on the DFS streets. You can find him on X at MCHolland34. El Capitan himself, Mike Holland. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up, my man? Yeah, it was a tear for about a week there, and then Saturday happened, and then Sunday happened. But Prize Picks picked me up on the weekend, so I was on Sirius XM radio this morning with Dr. Roto. We got to talk college hoops for about 10 minutes throughout a 3-pick prize pick that hit. And, of course, I flexed it, so didn't get the max payout. But if I didn't flex it, then somebody would have gotten hurt. So I feel like I did it right. We're sweating another one out. We need Ken and Carlisle to maybe make a shot tonight. That would be nice in the next 5 minutes here. But, yeah, overall, over the last few weeks, man, it's been pretty good to me. So I'm excited to talk about the weekend that happened. And yes, you are correct, man. I'm super excited to go on this run over the next 3 to 6, 7 weeks that we have. That is college basketball season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were talking even before the show started here, like we are going to be coming out with so much stuff. We're talking about our schedules, talking about our schedules and like making sure that we're able to do everything here, man. I'm excited for it, man. This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
But before we get into this week's headlines, make sure you go out there, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, bing, and share the show with all the other hoop heads in your life. Like I said, tons of great content on the way. But looks like we have that fire emojis coming in. We got some comments coming in. Forklift Jeremy coming in with those emojis. What is that? Is that a high?
No, it's the.
Okay, gotcha. Mama Rock's in here. Hey, superstars. Thank you, Mama Rocks. Appreciate that. Love the conference preview. Exactly. Watching while bottle feeding baby squirrels.
Okay.
All right. Well,
didn't have that on my Sunday night bingo card.
Yeah, that is awesome. Good deal. Oh, we got Green Screens Media, our production team, saying hi while we're going here. Well, let's go ahead and jump into these headlines here, right, Mike? First one I wanted to talk about was Tennessee. I mean, they were my pick to win it all, right? They staked their claim for the number 1 seed with a road win at Alabama. They're surging. I mean, they won the last 6. Mike, are they a number 1 seed, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting atop the SEC, which is a top 3 conference in the country. So you go on the road and you win without Connect having a good game. That is something we didn't think we were going to see. Obviously, he gets all the headlines, but they have other guys that have been around for a while. Triple J had 11 points, 13 rebounds. Vescovy, who Dr. Roto today on the radio show said he'd been in college for 8 years. Hasn't been that long, but he has been in school for quite a while. Ziegler's been in that system for a while as well. Connect, obviously, they're All-American, gives them the we like to use a DFS term, gives them the ceiling to win a national championship, gives that offense some life, but always a strong presence defensively as a team under Rick Barnes. And, you know, between Arizona, North Carolina, Tennessee, I mean, I think right now, man, it's got to be Tennessee. I mean, you know, recency bias off of the road win at Alabama there. But, Nate, man, I wanted to ask you about the Crimson Tide, obviously firmly into the tournament, but kind of a wild card coming into the tourney. So what are your thoughts on the old Crimson Tide?
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, they played the second toughest schedule in the country. I mean, they have really nice wins, but a lot of quality losses as well. You know, they're going to be battle tested. They're going to be a number 3 or number 4 seed, but everybody's good in the tournament. That's why they're there, right? So they just haven't shown that the ability to close out those top teams, which come tournament time, that's going to be
it's only top teams outside of maybe the first round. But then you say that and you get a bad matchup.
Exactly. Well, we got a couple more comments coming in here. Mama Rock's giving us the laughing face.
Sam the
Sniper. All right, welcome in. Auburn family, you already know what's going on. Yes, there we go. Thanks, you guys. Keep those comments coming. Let's keep it rolling here. We're going to go into the next headline here. Gonzaga. Seemingly, they punched their ticket with a road win at St. Mary's. Back in February, we were talking about them being on the bubble. They were just firmly on the bubble, right? But since then, they've won 8 straight, one at Kentucky, and they're coming off back-to-back road wins at San Francisco and at St. Mary's. Mike, how dangerous are these Bulldogs?
Well, they took it to the Gaels on both ends of the floor. I mean, they shot 56% from 3. They only turned the ball over 4 times. That's a recipe for winning a lot of games. Graham Ike double-double. So did Ryan Nembhard. You got the Ike rebound double-double and the Nembhard assist double-double. What happened was they changed their starting lineup about a month ago. So they went with this jumbo package where now they're starting Anton Watson at the 3. And he's really like a 4-5 man. And so they're going with like this huge front court right now. 3 guys, 6'9" and above, and then 2 guards that can really handle and create their own shot. So they're a unique team. Sometimes you gotta zag when everyone's zigging, right? Like everyone likes to play 3-4 guards, maybe 1 big. Well, Gonzaga's giving teams fits by playing the completely opposite way. So that's Coach Mark Few, right? Doing his thing, making adjustments, trying something different. It wasn't working. I say it wasn't working as far as like getting into the tournament. It wasn't happening. And they go out and they get that Kentucky win. They beat a St. Mary's team that, is going to get into the tournament as well. So, I definitely think Gonzaga, anytime you have Mark Few on the sidelines, like they're a threat to make it to at least the second weekend. They're just a staple in the tournament on that second weekend. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, it looks like the WCC, I mean, they're going to get 2 teams in with St. Mary's and Gonzaga once again, right? The Gaels, they just missed a perfect conference record with that loss, just that close, right? I mean, they're going to meet they're in the WCC Conference final. They're going to meet again, right? It's going to be an interesting game there. They're also going to be one of the top defenses in the NCAA tournament. So looking forward to seeing how far St. Mary's goes there as well. Blowing through this, man, we're going to go ahead and do the last headline here. We have your Creighton Bluejays here.
My Creighton Bluejays.
Pull away in the second half from a shorthanded Marquette squad. Mike, like you said earlier, you were on the radio and you were picking Creighton to win it all. You've been picking it on this show all year. With 1 more to go to close out the regular season, what are some thoughts on these Blue Jays that you have?
Yeah, I was feeling the heat as I was picking them on national radio to win it all. They'll probably get bounced in the first round, but that's why we love the tournament. I mean, the metrics love them. They're 12th in offensive efficiency, 22nd in defensive efficiency, 3rd in effective field goal percentage. You have a big 3, so you got 3 stars. Stephen Ashworth, the point guards, really opened up the offense, and people, I guess, kind of forget just because Nembhard went to Gonzaga, just because Arthur Kaluma went to Kansas State. They had a big 5. Now it's down to a big 3, but seemingly the pieces that are around them now, someone like a Mason Miller as a stretch 4. Now you have Stephen Ashworth as a better shooter than a Nembhard was, just kind of making this offensive engine really go in just a lot of ways they can play offensively, which is why I really, really like them. 1 foul away at the end of the season last year against San Diego State. They could have been a Final Four team last year. So I think they were 28-1 when I just looked a few hours ago. I mean, 28-1, like I'm all over it, man. I mean, I know that, obviously all these top teams are going to get all the love, but I think this is going to be a wild and crazy tournament, and I just want a lot of different ways offensively to have outs, and that's what Creighton possesses.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for Marquette, just talking about the other side here. I mean, they just took this one off, right? I mean, Kolek was out. They sat Iguodaro. They're still in line for the 2 seed, and when it comes down to the tournament, I mean, they're gonna be fine, right? They're gonna make some splash in the tournament as well. Those are our headlines. Let us know in those comments what you think on those. If there's anything we missed. Also, while you're out there, make sure you like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell and share with all the hoop heads in your life. We are going to go ahead and run through a bubble watch here. This is crunch time, right? We have we have 4 teams that we're going to talk about here. Let's just jump right into it. Mike, who's your first bubble watch team?
Well, we got to talk about basically the playoff game that happened in the Big East. So the Big East is supposed to get 5 spots in. 4 of those are pretty much locked up. You're looking at UConn. You're looking at Marquette, Creighton, and then Seton Hall has 11 wins. You have to think that a 12th win, even at 11 wins, they're probably in. So you have Providence taking on Villanova. They were at home. Providence sitting 63rd in the net now. Their quad 1 record is 5-8. They lost 71-60 at home against Villanova. So Villanova kind of taking over that number 5 spot. You still have St. John's looking to try to creep in there as well. But you have to think for Providence, they're now on the outside looking in. They can punch their ticket and make the selection committee think really hard about maybe 6 teams from the Big East. If they can get this win against UConn this Saturday at home, that would be a massive resume booster for Providence. I think they're pretty much in if they can get that one. They may need to win maybe a conference tournament game, but you beat the number 1, what I think is the number 1 team in the country. You're pretty much getting yourself off of that bubble and into the tournament. So who's one of your 2 teams that you're putting on the bubble here, sir?
Yeah, the first one I want to talk about is Wake Forest, right? They're 18-11, 10-8 in conference. Their net is 31st. They're 1-6 in quad 1 games. I mean, what a stretch run for the Deacons, right? Huge win against Duke last week. They proceed to piss down their leg against Notre Dame and Virginia Tech, right? Now they're back on the bubble. But
after I said, I think on Twitter that they're in.
Yeah, exactly, right? They heard you and they're like, nah, we just want to mess with Mike until the end, make him sweat it out, But, I mean, if they can get a win at home in the finale against Clemson this Saturday, I mean, they can pretty much punch their ticket, right? So it's all going to come down to the end of the season with a lot of these teams. What's your second bubble watch team here, man?
I have some of note here, right? So Michigan State's lost 3 in a row. They're 17-12, 9-9 in the Big Ten. Their net is 22nd, partly because they played like a ridiculous non-con. They're 4-8 in the quad 1. I think they're safer than most of the teams that we're talking about. Wisconsin and Minnesota are stumbling down the end here, so that's also helping them. Maybe if they were winning a few more games, that this would be a spot to, really at Michigan State on the outside looking in. But I think they're firmly in, but in danger, right? It's hard to envision that, Tom Izzo being left out of the tournament, even if they get to just 18 wins or 19 wins. A win at home against Northwestern on Wednesday, that should close up shop. So, man, these last few games are absolutely going to be fire for these teams trying to get in, trying to get seeding locked up, trying to obviously build momentum as you go into conference tournament time. So, for right now, Michigan State kind of the fringe bubble, like they're just dipping their toe into the bubble right now. Who you got next up?
Well, I was just going to say, Michigan State. I mean, it's hard, like you said, it's hard to imagine Izzo not being in there. Right?
It's just weird, right?
It's crazy.
Usually we just pencil them into the second weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter what the seed is.
Oh man, it would be crazy if they don't make it in. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on these teams during the last week here. But my last one here for the bubble watch, of course, I'm going to go with a Pac-12 team, right? I'm going to go with Colorado, 19-9, 10-7 in conference. They are 30th in the net, 1-5 in quad 1 games. I mean, hard to believe only 2 Pac-12 teams are going to be getting in. And this is Power 5 conference. I mean, that's insane, right? I think there should be a third, but that's just me. I'm a homer, right? They did just beat Stanford right now, so they go to 11-7 in the conference. They actually
feels good, man. Feels good. 11-7. I mean, 12 wins in the Pac-12. It's because UCLA and USC, man, they just didn't do anything this year. And when those teams don't do anything, it just makes it. It's like when Texas and Oklahoma don't do anything, or it's like when, it just feels that way, even though Arizona's one of the top teams. Washington State is surprised. Like, Oregon's been okay this year. They've got a bunch of – Utah's been okay at times. It just feels weird, right? Like, it feels like 12-win Pac-12 teams should get in. I mean, what are your thoughts on that? It's going to be wild if the only 2 teams get in.
Yeah, exactly, man. A 12-win Pac-12 team should get it. Like that's like without a doubt. I mean, it's a Power
6
5
Mountain
conference.
West and only 2 Pac-12.
Yeah, exactly. That's insane. But it is what it is, right? That's the selection committee. There's what's the number? It's like 360 teams or something like that. 362. Like, everybody's got to have a shot. That's why we love this tournament, right? I mean, but going back to Colorado, I mean, the one that they had at Oregon would be a huge boost to their resume. They need to win a game in the Pac-12 tournament just to get their ticket in, right? So we're going to cross my fingers. Us Pac-12 people are going to cross our fingers to get a third team in, right?
But, goodbye, Pac-12.
Yeah, exactly. And it's last year. But go into the comments here. It looks like Mama Rocks has a question for you here, Mike. What, you want to hit that for us?
Yeah. Are the Johnnies in or out? They're out right now, Mama Rocks. Big East, 5 teams in. We talked about it. Marquette, UConn, Creighton. 4 would be Seton Hall. And then you have this log jam for number 5, and that's going to be Providence, who we just talked about, Villanova, who currently occupies that 5th spot, and then St. John's, all trying to get in. That conference tournament is going to be huge. Unfortunately for St. John's, it's being played at Madison Square Garden, so the committee is not going to count that as neutral site games. They're actually going to count those conference tournament games as home games. So the quad 1 opportunities are not going to be there unless they play Creighton, Marquette, or UConn. And then you have to obviously beat one of the top teams in the country in order to earn your quad 1 opportunity. So a lot of work to be done, a lot of, jockeying for position. Seton Hall feels safe, but you just never know if they, if they drop a couple here and then lose in the first round. And then maybe St. John's picks it up, wins a couple of games in the Big East tournament. There's just so much to still go. I mean, it's hard to say unless you're, firmly entrenched into a top 5 seed. Like, you're just you're on lookout all over the country because a win here could affect your quad 1 resume because it just flows. It's an ebb and flow. Someone wins here, now your quad 2 win turns into a quad 1 win, or now your quad 2 loss turns into a quad 3 loss. Like, it's just bonkers how this net rating works, which is a little bit flawed, but that's what we have to work with. And for instance, not to go off on a rant, but Creighton beats Marquette, right? And Marquette doesn't have Tyler Kolek or Oso Ighodaro. So to me, that's not really a quad 1 victory, but to the computers, it's a quad 1 win because you beat a top 10 team, but that wasn't a top 10 team that you played. And that happens all throughout the entire college basketball season. Now, how do you rate that one way versus the other? That's how do you say that's not a quad 1 win or whatever? I mean, sometimes you just got to get lucky when you play someone who's in, who's out. It's all part of the system, but there are a lot of flaws to the net ratings for sure. But yeah, to answer your question, Mama Rock, St. John's 7th place right now as far as the top 5 getting in. So they need some work.
There you go. Hopefully that answered your question very thoroughly, Mama Rocks. And hopefully that squirrel is doing okay there as well. All right. So that's our bubble watch. Let us know if you have any other questions out there. We'll definitely answer them. We'll get that going. Oh, she says, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the comment. Well, let's go ahead and move into our world famous one and done power rankings. Mike, I'm going to let you start us off with number 10. Who you got?
Number 10. We're going to put Duke back in here, man. They've been slipping and sliding out between 8 and 10 and not being ranked in our power rankings. we're going to put them in. They're 14-4 in the ACC. They have a legit shot to win the ACC outright, depending on what North Carolina does. They actually play them in the finale at home, so it could share the title if they win out. They demolished Virginia yesterday. That was just a plain old butt whooping. Filipowski and Proctor, they're playing like the projected top picks that they are. So a little bit of momentum, as our guy Eric likes to say, heading into March here. Who you got at number 9?
Well, I got at number 9. Sam the Sniper's going to love this. We have the Auburn Tigers, 22-7, 11-5 in conference. They're down 1 spot, but they are still in our top 10 here. I mean, the analytics love them. I mean, they just beat up Mississippi State yesterday, and one of the top rosters from top to bottom. They're just one of the top rosters, right? So Auburn at number 9. Who do we have at number 8, Mike?
Yeah, number 8, we're going to put Iowa State, 23-6, 12-4, up 1 spot. Tough road win at UCF yesterday. They're comfortably in second place in the Big 12. Defensively, they're pretty tremendous. So you love that they're bringing that fire from the defensive side into the tournament. And they have a little bit of offense to go with it, but a little scary when it comes to maybe picking them past the second weekend in the tournament. But as of right now, Iowa State, number 2 in the Big 12, which is considered the number 1 conference in the country. You have to love it. Who do you got at number 7?
Number 7, I'm rocking with the Marquette Golden Eagles, 22-7, 13-5 in conference. They are down 1 spot as well. Reason is they fell to Creighton yesterday, and they were missing 2 top players, right? Like you were talking about a little earlier. They've been playing really well, right? Not worried about them going forward. We have them at number 7. Who's our number 6 team, Mike?
Yeah, number 6 is North Carolina. Up 1 spot. They handled business against NC State this weekend. Played much better defense this year. RJ Davis has played an All-American level. Love their starting 5. So they're knocking on the door of a number 1 seed. We'll see how they finish out the season and the conference tournament. I think you got someone familiar over there at number 5. Who you got?
Seems like every week I always end up talking about the Arizona Wildcats at number 5 or in the top 10 here. 23-6, 14-4, down 1 spot. So there's a win there for me at least. They dropped 103. Is this an NBA game? On Oregon yesterday. They just have that explosive offense. Caleb Love's just one of the best guards in the country. Arizona, number 5. Let's move on from them. Who you got at number 4, Mike?
Yeah, number 4, we're going to put Tennessee, 23-6, 13-3, leading the SEC here, up 1 spot. Beat Bama on the road. We covered that in our headlines. Dalton Connect, he's a superstar. They have a veteran team. We covered all that as well. Play tough defense. I think we've heard kind of the same things about Tennessee, but now we're seeing it in the results. So you love the second half of the season for the Volunteers. Some familiar faces inside the top 3, but number 3, maybe a little bit of a surprise, sliding down 1. Who you got?
Yeah, Purdue, the Boilermakers, 26-3, 13-3. They are down 1 spot, so a little bit of a shakeup here in the top 3. They held serve against Michigan State at home yesterday. I mean, they have Zach Edey. He's going to be back-to-back National Player of the Year. The guy is insane. Still a little worry about their tourney woes, though, right? Another – I mean, what is it, like every year they jumped up? It was ridiculous. So we'll see if they can get past that hump in the coming weeks. Mike, who is number 2?
Yeah, so the reason why Purdue fell back is because Houston had the nice road win, beating Oklahoma on the last-second shot by Jamal Shead. They're close to wrapping up the Big 12 title outright. They are pretty much locked in for a number 1 seed, and Jamal Shead should probably win the Bob Cousy Award for best point guard in the country. So Houston playing tough D as per usual. Kelvin Sampson has this train absolutely rolling for the Cougars. Number 1 should be no surprise to the one and done family. Who you got?
Yeah, no surprise here. No change here. I think they've been at the number 1 spot the entire year, it feels like. UConn Huskies, 26-3, 16-2. They just smoked Seton Hall this afternoon. To me, the most complete team in the country. Real shot here of going back-to-back national champions, which is insanely difficult.
Insanely difficult
college basketball. But rounding out the top 5 here, number 1 being UConn, 2 Houston, 3 Purdue, 4 Tennessee, and 5 Arizona. Looks like we have a couple comments here. our boy Eric Romoff thinks Zona gets the 4th number 1 seed.
He's just saying that to trigger you.
I know. He knows how to get me. So we'll move on. And Mama Rock says, hey, Eric, love the family that we have going on in these comment sections a lot of the time, right? But now to everybody's pretty much favorite part of the show, the reason why they listen to me, talk with you this entire time, to get to these core 4 plays for tomorrow's 2-game slate on DraftKings. Mike, run us down some core 4 plays to build our teams around.
Yeah, so we got Texas at Baylor. We got Duke at North Carolina State. I think for a core 4 here, it has to start with 2 Duke guys here. Kyle Filipowski is just too cheap. I mean, he's still under 8K, 7,900 on a short slate. Like, yeah, could you go to Mark Mitchell for leverage, of course, but at 7,900, I would just play Kyle Filipowski. He's one of the top players in the country. Been playing well too. Tyrese Proctor sitting here at 6K. The injury to Caleb Foster probably going to be out for the next few games is what we think, although it is college basketball, and people that may be out for the year all of a sudden end up returning the next game like Kevin McCullough. But I digress. Tyrese Proctor sitting there at 6K should play, high 20s, low 30s minutes. Obviously a guy that has NBA upside here and the ability to put 30 fantasy points on the board. So putting together the duo of Filipowski and Proctor. Max Asmus sitting here at 6,600. The price dropped after he went over 4X at 6,800 on Saturday. Just the rates are too good. I mean, just a high usage rate, a high shot rate, a high assist rate. It's at Baylor. Obviously, it's going to be a dogfight for Texas, but Max Asmus, like for this price, you just don't find many guys that are going to take 18 to 20 shots in a game. And I'll follow it up on the other side. Jalen Bridges, just been so good. As far as his floor, it's 7,200. The forward from Baylor shoots a lot of threes. That's Texas' weakness is containing the 3 ball. So you love what he offers you, not only as a floor and cash, but also have a little bit of a ceiling to him. So the Jalen Bridges pick here has been one that we have been rocking for the last few weeks, and his price is starting to go up. But on a 2-game slate, not too worried about the 7,200. It's going to leave you with 5,575 to go out and do your thing. So that's our core 4 for the little Monday 2-game slate.
Yeah, 2 great games, man. That Texas Baylor game is going to be a fun game to watch for sure. And keep an eye out there in the Twitter streets and on YouTube. We'll throw out some shorts with maybe some picks and things of that such coming out. We're going to be putting out a lot of little videos and content out there. Well, that is everything here. Now, like I said earlier, we have the double feature today. Make sure you go like and subscribe, hit those notification bells. We should be back here in about 20 minutes or so, Mike, and you and
12 conference previews, maybe. A lot. So we'll see.
Yeah, bunch of conference previews coming in. Thank you guys so much for the comments out there. Eric coming in saying, "What's up, Mama Rocks?" But Eric, Mama Rocks, Sam the Sniper, Forklift Jeremy. I was about to say something different for his name. I don't know why that came.
Love that name.
Love that name. Appreciate everybody. Make sure you go out there, make a stranger smile. Don't hug a stranger. That's weird. Make sure you make somebody smile. You never know how that could affect their day. But until next time, let's get this bread.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.